Now let's make this Calico Kitten. The Calico Kitten will use 3 colors. The main body will use pure white. Then one side will use orange, the other side will use coffee. The legs are coffee and orange. The methods for making the Calico Kitten are exactly the same as for the Ginger Kitten and the Solid Color Kitten. Only the patterns are different. So the color change areas are different. The video will focus on explaining from round 1 to round 8. The color changes from round 1 to round 8 are relatively complex. The pure white and coffee yarns in the video may cause situations where the stitches are not clearly visible. So the white parts will be demonstrated using beige yarn. The coffee parts will be demonstrated using gray yarn. The video will remind everyone of the colors needed for actual production. The colors used in the video are only substitutes. You need to use the corresponding colors from the material kit. Now let's make the magic ring. Take out the pure white yarn from the material kit. Here, we will demonstrate using off-white yarn. One hand holds the yarn tail. The other hand's palm facing up. Wrap the yarn around your pinky finger once, through the space between the middle finger and index finger. Hang it on your index finger. Pinch the yarn tail with your thumb and middle finger. Wrap the yarn around your middle finger once. Take out the crochet hook. The hook's head should face towards you. The crochet hook goes through the loop on the middle finger. Rotate the crochet hook. Hook head facing the working yarn. Hook the working yarn. The yarn is passed through the loop on your middle finger. Now a loop is formed on the hook. The loop on your middle finger is the magic ring. A chain stitch needs to be made to secure the magic ring. Wrap the yarn around the hook. Pass the yarn through the existing loop on the hook. A chain stitch is done. This is the magic ring. Pinch the 2 strands of yarn below the magic ring with your thumb and middle finger. First round. A chain stitch needs to be made. Here, while making the magic ring, the chain stitch has already been completed. Next, make 8 single crochet into the magic ring. Insert the crochet hook through the magic ring. The hook should go through the 2 strands of the magic ring. The hook should wrap around the working yarn from behind. Hook the working yarn on to pull the yarn through the magic ring. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. The crochet hook is placed in front of the working yarn. Lift the working yarn up and drop it around once. Yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. 1 single crochet is completed. From the top, it forms a V shape. Place the stitch marker on the first stitch. The first stitch of each round needs to have a stitch marker attached to mark the beginning. We can easily and quickly find the position of the first stitch. The second single crochet. Third single crochet. Fourth single crochet. Fifth single crochet. Sixth single crochet. Seventh single crochet. 8 single crochet. 8 single crochet are completed. There are a total of 8 V-shapes at the top. Because the channel yarn has a fluffy texture, it can affect the stitch counting. You can confirm the stitch count through the gaps below the V-shape. Here 8 single crochet are completed. Find the yarn tail and tighten the magic ring until the gap in the middle completely disappears. Next, the second round. The second round requires a color change to start. First, we need to switch to coffee yarn. Now let's learn the second method of changing yarn. This line is formed by the top V shape. There is a yarn loop below. We need to pass the crochet hook through these 2 yarn loops. Take the crochet hook and pass it through the 2 yarn loops. Take out the coffee yarn from the material kit. Here, we will use gray yarn as a substitute. Place the yarn below the fabric. Put the yarn on your hand properly. Lift the gray yarn with the crochet hook. The crochet hook brings the yarn through the 2 loops. This completes the yarn change. Pull the white yarn to release the white loop. Pull the gray yarn tight. Using the gray yarn, first make 3 single crochet increases. Change yarn on the last single crochet. First single crochet increase. The crochet hook goes through first stitch. Put the gray yarn tail and the white yarn above the hook to secure them. Yarn over and pull the yarn through the stitch. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn over and pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. First single crochet is completed. Place the stitch marker on the first stitch. Insert the hook into the same stitch to make the second single crochet. 2 single crochet are made in the same stitch. A single crochet increase is completed. Second single crochet increase. Third single crochet increase. We need to change yarn on the second single crochet of the third increase. Make an unfinished single crochet. If you are making a complete single crochet, you can also use the second method to change yarn. Here we make an unfinished single crochet. You can change yarn according to the Ginger Kitten's method. Everyone can choose their own method to change yarn. Now let's demonstrate the second method to change yarn. Here we have completed a single crochet. The crochet hook goes through the top V shape, then through the lower yarn loop. Next, we need to change to white yarn. Put the white yarn on your hand properly. White yarn over the hook and pull through the 2 loops on the hook. Yarn change is completed. Pull the gray yarn tight. The second method of changing yarn is completed. Make one single crochet increase with white yarn. We need to change yarn on the second single crochet. Make an unfinished single crochet. Take out the orange yarn. Hold the yarn properly in your hand. Place the yarn tail at the back of the fabric. The crochet hook lifts the orange yarn and wraps it around once. Pull the yarn through the 2 loops on the crochet hook. Yarn change is completed. Tighten the white yarn. These 2 yarn changing methods can be selected based on the actual situation. Make 3 single crochet increases with orange yarn. The first, the second one, the third one. You need to change yarn on the second single crochet of this increase stitch. 1 unfinished single crochet. Change to white yarn. Make 1 single crochet increase with white yarn. The second round is completed. Count the top V shapes, there are 16. Because the fabric uses 3 colors, the yarn ends on the back will be a bit messy. Be careful not to let these yarns get tangled. The top of the gray yarn forms 6 V shapes. The top of the white yarn forms 2 V shapes. The top of the orange yarn forms 6 V shapes. Here, the white yarn has another 2 V shapes. Third round. First, use the gray yarn. Make 1 single crochet and 1 increased stitch as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 3 times. Here you need to use coffee yarn for the creation. First, change the yarn. Note that the yarn on the back needs to be left with enough length. Yarn change is completed. The first sequence. First, make a single crochet. Place the stitch marker on the first stitch. 1 increased stitch. The second sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increased stitch. The third sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 increased stitch. Next, change to white yarn to make 1 single crochet and 1 increase. Yarn change is completed. 1 single crochet, 1 increase stitch. Change to orange yarn. Pay attention to the length of yarn on the back. Using orange yarn, make 1 single crochet and 1 increase as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 3 times. First sequence, 1 single crochet, 1 increase stitch. The second sequence, 1 single crochet, 1 increase stitch. The third sequence, 1 single crochet, 1 increase stitch. You need to change yarn on the second single crochet of this increase stitch. Change to white yarn. Using white yarn, make 1 single crochet and 1 increase. 1 single crochet, 1 increase stitch. The third round is completed. Count the top 24 V-shapes. Next, the fourth round. First, use gray yarn to make 9 single crochet. Change to gray yarn. Pay attention to the length of yarn on the back. Make 9 single crochet with gray yarn. At the 9th stitch, you need to change the yarn. Change to white yarn. Make 3 single crochet with white yarn. Change to orange yarn on the 3rd stitch. Make 9 single crochet with orange yarn. We need to change to white yarn on the 9th stitch. Change to white yarn. Make 3 single crochet with white yarn. The fourth round is completed. Count 24 V-shapes at the top. You need to unangle the yarn to avoid knots during the process. Fifth round. First, make one single crochet with white yarn. We need to change yarn on this stitch. Change to gray yarn. Place the stitch marker on the first stitch. Using gray yarn, first make for single crochet. One increase stitch. Then, 3 single crochet. Change yarn on the third stitch. Change to white yarn. To single crochet. One increase stitch. You need to change yarn on the second single crochet of this increased stitch. Change to orange yarn. Using orange yarn, first make 5 single crochet. One single crochet increase. Then to single crochet. Change yarn on the second stitch. Switch to white yarn. Pay attention to the length of the yarn on the back. Yarn change is completed. Make 3 single crochet with white yarn. Then 1 increase stitch. Count 28 top V shapes. Round 5 is completed. During the process, straighten out the 3 colors of yarn to avoid tangling. Round 6. First, make 1 single crochet with white yarn. We need to change yarn on this stitch. Switch to gray yarn. Make 8 single crochet with gray yarn. Place a stitch marker on the first stitch. Change yarn at the 8th stitch. Switch to white yarn. Make 6 single crochet, change yarn at the 6th stitch. Switch to orange yarn. Make 7 single crochet with orange yarn. Change yarn at the 7th stitch. Switch to white yarn. Yarn change is completed. Make 6 single crochet with white yarn. Round 6 is completed. Count the top V shapes, there should be 28. Everyone must pay attention here. Check if the stitch count for each round is correct. Because the channel yarn makes it hard to see the stitches clearly, it's easy to miss or add stitches. 7th round. Using white yarn, first make the single crochet. Change yarn on the 2nd stitch. Place the stitch marker on the 1st stitch. Change to gray yarn. Yarn change is completed. Make 6 single crochet with coffee yarn. Change yarn on the 6th stitch. Change to white yarn. Make 8 single crochet with white yarn. Change yarn on the 8th stitch. Yarn change is completed. Make 5 single crochet with orange yarn. Change yarn on the 5th stitch. Change to white yarn. Make 7 single crochet with white yarn. A 7th round is completed. Count 28 V-shapes at the top. The 8th round. First, make 3 single crochet with white yarn. Change yarn on the 3rd stitch. Place the stitch marker on the 1st stitch. Change to gray yarn. First, make 3 single crochet with gray yarn. Next, you need to work into the same stitch. Make 1 single crochet with coffee yarn. 1 single crochet with white yarn. First, make 1 unfinished single crochet. Change to white yarn. Make another single crochet in the same stitch. A single crochet are made in the same stitch. Next, use the white yarn to make 6 single crochet. One increased stitch. Then 3 single crochet. Change yarn on the 3rd stitch. Change to orange yarn. Using the orange yarn, first make 3 single crochet. In the next stitch, make 2 single crochet. Make 1 single crochet with the orange yarn. Then make 1 single crochet with the white yarn. Make an unfinished single crochet. Change to white yarn. With the white yarn in the same stitch to make another single crochet. Two single crochet are made in the same stitch. Make another 6 single crochet. One increase stitch. The 8th round is completed. Count 32 V-shapes at the top. Yarn change is completed. Next, use the white yarn to complete rounds 9 to 21. You can cut the other 2 colors of yarn first to avoid tangling with too much yarn. Start using white yarn from the 9th round. In the 9th round, make 32 single crochet without increases or decreases. The following production methods are the same as the methods for making the solid color kitten. We will speed up the demonstration. Ninth round is completed. Count 32 V-shapes at the top. Round 10. 7 single crochet and 1 increase stitch as one sequence. Repeat this sequence 4 times, for sequences completed to form 36 stitches. For the first sequence, make 7 single crochet. One increase stitch. The first sequence is completed. For the second sequence, make 7 single crochet. One increase stitch. Third sequence. Fourth sequence. For sequences are completed. There are 36 V-shapes at the top. The 10th round is completed. In the 11th round, make 36 single crochet without increases or decreases. Round 11 is completed. There are 36 V-shapes at the top. Round 12. 7 single crochet and 1 decrease stitch from 1 sequence. Repeat this sequence 4 times. 4 sequences completed forming 32 stitches. For the first sequence, make 7 single crochet. One decrease. The first sequence is completed. The second sequence, 7 single crochet. One decrease stitch. The third sequence. Fourth sequence. Four sequences are completed. Count 32 V shapes at the top. Round 12 is completed. 13th round. 2 single crochet and 1 decrease stitch as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 8 times. 8 sequences completed form 24 stitches. For the first sequence, start with 2 single crochet. One decrease. The second sequence, 2 single crochet. 1 decrease. The third sequence, 2 single crochet. 1 decrease. Fourth sequence. Fifth sequence. Sixth sequence. Seventh sequence. Eighth sequence. Eight sequences are completed. Count the 24 V-shapes at the top. Round 13 is completed. Round 14. 1 single crochet and 1 decrease stitch as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 8 times. 8 sequences completed to form 16 stitches. The first sequence. First, make a single crochet. Place a stitch marker on the first stitch. 1 decrease. The first sequence is completed. Second sequence. The third sequence, 1 single crochet. 1 decrease. Fourth sequence. 5th sequence. 6th sequence. 7th sequence. 8th sequence. 8 sequences are completed. Count the top V shapes, there are 16. Everyone should confirm the stitch count is correct at the end of each round. Round 14 is completed. Next, insert the stuffing cotton. Take out the stuffing cotton. Tear the stuffing cotton to fluff it up. Add in small amounts multiple times. Stuffing cotton is done. Insert the crochet hook back into the yarn loop. Tighten the yarn loop. Hold the yarn properly in your hand. Round 15. 1 single crochet and 1 increase stitch as a sequence. Repeat the sequence 8 times. 8 sequences completed form 24 stitches. For the first sequence, start with 1 single crochet. Place the stitch marker on the first stitch. One increase stitch. The first sequence is completed. The second sequence 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. The third sequence 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. Fourth sequence 1 single crochet. 1 increase stitch. Fifth sequence. Sixth sequence. Seventh sequence. Eighth sequence. Eight sequences completed. The top V shape has 24 stitches. Next, from round 16 to round 17. These 2 rounds have no increases or decreases, totaling 24 single crochet. Round 16 is completed. Round 17. Rounds 16 and 17 are completed. Count the 24 V-shapes at the top. Round 18. 5 single crochet and 1 increase stitch as one sequence. Repeat this sequence 4 times. 4 sequences completed, forming 28 stitches. The first sequence starts with 5 single crochet. One increase stitch. The first sequence is completed. Second sequence, 5 single crochet. One increase stitch. The third sequence. Fourth sequence. Four sequences are completed. The top V shape has 28 stitches. Round 18 is completed. Round 19 has no increases or decreases, totaling 28 single crochet. Round 19 completed. Count 28 V shapes at the top. Round 20. 6 single crochet and 1 single crochet increase as one sequence. Repeat this sequence 4 times. 4 sequences completed, forming 32 stitches. For the first sequence, start with 6 single crochet. One increase stitch. The first sequence is completed. For the second sequence, 6 single crochet. One increased stitch. The third sequence. Fourth sequence. For sequences are completed, the top V shape has 32 stitches. Round 20 is completed. Round 21. 7 single crochet and 1 increased stitch is 1 sequence. Repeat this sequence 4 times. A sequence is completed to form 36 stitches. First sequence, 7 single crochet. One increased stitch. The first sequence is completed. The second sequence, 7 single crochet. One increased stitch. The third sequence. Fourth sequence. For sequences are completed, the top V shapes has 36 stitches. Round 21 is completed. Next, round 22. We need to change colors during process. You will need coffee, orange, and white. Next, in round 22, we will make the kitten's legs. Do coffee into orange. Round 22. Make a single crochet with white yarn. Change to coffee yarn on the second stitch. Take out the gray yarn. Place it behind the fabric. Cut the yarn properly. Yarn change is completed. Tighten the white yarn. The gray yarn can also be tightened. Then use the gray yarn. Make 5 treble crochet bubbles. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. First round, second round. A crochet hook goes through the stitch. Yarn over and pull through. There are 3 yarn loops on the crochet hook now. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 yarn loops. Yarn over the hook again and pull through the next 2 yarn loops. This is how to complete an unfinished treble crochet. Then in the same stitch, make for unfinished treble crochet. The second one. The third one. The fourth one. The fifth one. Five incomplete treble crochet are completed. Next, we need to change yarn. Put the white yarn on your hand properly. White yarn over the hook. Pass through 6 yarn loops on the crochet hook at once. Here, the gray yarn needs to be pulled tight. This completes 5 treble crochet bobbles. Next, use the white yarn to make 3 single crochet. Be careful not to miss any stitches at the insertion point. One single crochet decrease. Then, 3 single crochet. Change yarn on the third stitch. Take out the orange yarn. Place the yarn behind the fabric. Hold the yarn properly in your hand. Orange yarn over hook and passes through 2 yarn loops on the crochet hook. Yarn change is completed. Tighten the white yarn. The orange yarn should also be pulled tight. Make 5 treble crochet bobbles using the orange yarn. Wrap the yarn around the hook twice. Pass through the same stitch position. The first. The second one. The third one. The fourth one. The fifth one. Five incomplete treble crochet are completed. Next, we need to change yarn. Put the white yarn on your hand properly. Yarn over and pull through 6 yarn loops on the crochet hook. Here, pull the orange yarn tight. First, make 3 single crochet with the white yarn. One decrease stitch. Then 3 single crochet. Change yarn on the third stitch. Change to coffee yarn. Pay attention to the length of yarn on the back. Next, use the gray yarn. Make 5 unfinished treble crochet. The second. The third one. The fourth one. The fifth one. Five incomplete treble crochet are completed. Change to white yarn. Five treble crochet bobbles is completed. Pull the yarn tight. Make 3 single crochet with white yarn. Everyone must pay attention to the hook insertion point. Avoid missing stitches. One single crochet decrease. Then 3 single crochet. Change yarn on the third stitch. Change to orange yarn. Make 5 treble crochet bobbles using the orange yarn. The first. The second. The third one. The fourth one. The fifth one. Five incomplete treble crochet are completed. Change to white yarn to complete the bobble stitch. Pull the yarn tight. With the white yarn, first make 3 single crochet. Here, the white yarn needs to be pulled tight. One re-stitch. Another single crochet. Round 22 is completed. The top V shape has 32 stitches. Next, continue working with the white yarn. The other 2 colors can be cut. Round 23. 1 single crochet. To decrease this, per single crochet and to decrease stitches as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 3 times. The first sequence, per single crochet. To decrease stitches. The first sequence is completed. Second sequence, per single crochet. To decrease stitches. Third sequence, per single crochet. To decrease stitches. Then 3 single crochet. Round 23 is completed. The top V shape has 24 stitches. In round 24, to decrease stitches. Next, to single crochet followed by 2 decreases as a sequence. Repeat this sequence 3 times. The first sequence to single crochet. To decrease stitches. The first sequence is completed. Second sequence to single crochet. To decrease stitches. In the third sequence to single crochet. To decreases. Then to more single crochet. Round 24 is completed. Count the top V shapes, there are 16. Continue to stuff with cotton. Take out the stuffing cotton. Tear the stuffing cotton to fluff it up. Add stuffing cotton until it reaches this level of tightness. Or insert the crochet hook into the yarn loop. Tighten the yarn loop. Round 25. 8 decreases. Eight decreases are completed. Cut the yarn. Find the yarn tail. Thread the yarn tail onto the sewing needle. Next, proceed to close the opening. Pick the front loops of the last round. All 8 front loops have been threaded onto the yarn tail. Pull the yarn tail. Tighten the gap. Hide the yarn tail inside the fabric. Cut off the excess yarn end. After hiding the yarn, you can knead the finished main part. To make the stuffing cotton more even. The main body of the Calico kitten is completed. This color scheme is the actual one used in production. Everyone must be careful not to use the wrong color. The main body of the Calico kitten is finished.